The Hashira Training Arc, aka the 4th season of Demon Slayer, will start airing in a few weeks. Yes, there's only a 1 hour long preview, basically a movie, but not really. That is only available in theaters from February onwards. What I'm going to talk about is everything to expect from this coming season. Is it even going to be a full season considering how there are only 9 chapters in this arc? For context, Mugen Train had 13 chapters, and its TV anime adaptation was 7 episodes long. Since the Hashira Training Arc is only 9 chapters, it should be 5 episodes long in the anime. The first arc of the entire story, the final selection arc, was also only 9 chapters in the manga and 5 episodes in the anime. So yes, the manga content is only going to translate roughly to 5 episodes. Isn't that a bit too little? The season is named as the Hashira Training Arc, so it's not like they're going to start the Infinity Castle arc from the 6 episodes onwards, especially because ever since Mugen Train, each arc has been its own season. One way to look at it is that the anime will air the 5 episodes of the Hashira Training Arc in spring. When the 5th episode is released, there will be an announcement for the Infinity Castle arc, which can then start airing in summer. However, there's another approach that Ufotable can also take. Did you know about the Demon Slayer light novels? 3 of them are official, and some of the short stories center around the events of the Hashira Training Arc. For example, when Zenitsu gets Inosuke to help him dig a hot spring during Tengen's training. It's actually Tengen himself who gives Zenitsu the task of digging out a hot spring, and Zenitsu is all in, because he is told that it will be a gender-mixed bath. In another story, we have what happens after Giyu and Sanemi have their sparring session. As Tanjiro is engaging in a silly conversation with Giyu, Guillaume informs the other Hashira that they have received a special request from Ubuyashiki to make Giyu smile.
お前は強い。なんだこれは。さあな。俺はそれを知らん。
These 2 stories are from a light novel called Demon Slayer, One-Winged Butterfly. They are Chapter 2 and Chapter 5 respectively. Of course, this is just from one light novel. Then there's Chapter 4 of Demon Slayer Signs from the Wind. Here we have a conversation between Guillaume and Muchiro. It happens following the Hashira meeting, and it's about the Demon Slayer marks. We learn that Muchiro helped Kotetsu in repairing Yorichi Type 0, which is cute, and Mitsuri also stuck around and brought them food. Now, these are interesting stories that can definitely help in expanding the Hashira Training Arc. But it's not just about them either. There is also the possibility of anime original content as well. Next, let's talk about the story elements of this arc that will most likely be covered. It's just 9 chapters, but Kotoge-sensei absolutely kills it. There are character conflicts, flashbacks, lore drops, and overall, Hashira Training Arc is where we develop a strong emotional connection with every single one of the pillars. Of course, not all backstories are revealed, it's just a setup after all. But the 2 backstories that we do get are phenomenal. We're talking about Giyu and Guillaume. Giyu's backstory makes us revisit the final selection arc. It helps us understand why Giyu is the way he is, and why Tanjiro learning the water breathing was no coincidence either. Both of them are connected to Sabito after all. Next, we have Guillaume's backstory, and it's revealed in the same chapter as when Zenitsu got a letter. Little did anyone know that the 2 of them are also connected. Yes, Guillaume and Zenitsu are connected by a boy named Kaigaku. I won't get into the actual spoilers because not everyone has read the manga, but let's just say that it's all brilliantly set up. Though, what about the training? It is just character drama, or do we get some decent training? Well, yes, each Demon Slayer has to follow up through the training schedule of these 6 pillars. I'm talking about Tengen, Muchiro, Mitsuri, Obanai, Sanemi, and Guillaume. What about Giyu and Shinobu? Well, the former has to deal with some severe identity crisis, while the latter is busy preparing to kill a certain demon. Though Shinobu does train someone during this arc, she trains Kanao for ultimately killing a certain someone. Now, going back to the 6 Hashira who do train others, each of them whip the Demon Slayers into shape according to their areas of specialty. Tengen is all about basic stamina training, because thanks to his shinobi upbringing, his stamina and endurance is insane. Heck, as we saw during the battle against Gitaro, Tengen also has inhuman resistance to pain and poison. Muchiro's training deals with quick movement. He shows you how to ease your muscles and tense up more smoothly. Mitsuri is all about the hellish flexibility training, and this is basically torture because she forcibly stretches her body and others using her inhumane strength. But these 3 are still pretty tame in comparison to the next 3. Obanai gives you the sword skill revision treatment. Imagine being forced to swing your sword in a room full of tied up fellow demon slayers. And you also have to do that wiggly thing with your sword that Obanai does. Still, at least Obanai gives you breaks. Sanemi's infinite pounding is literally what it says. He just relentlessly pounds you with his sword and doesn't stop even when you throw up. However, the most difficult training is still Guillaume's muscle reinforcement training. It's a 3-step training where you have to beat the waterfall, carry the logs, and then push a rock across a town. And you know it's hard because anyone can quit anytime they want. It's not compulsory to go through Guillaume's training. Since Tanjiro is already quite strong, it isn't until Guillaume's training that he experiences noticeable growth. And one more thing. Tanjiro usually manages to help in improving relationships between people, but even he falls short when it comes to Sanemi and Genya. And guys, I've talked about this in my previous Demon Slayer videos as well. The Sanemi and Genya dynamic perfectly portrays the paradoxical nature of relationships between brothers. It's different from the Sasuke and Itachi dynamic, but still kind of rhymes with it. This story arc isn't about resolving plot threads. It's about setting everything up for the final battle, and taking that into account, the Hashira Training Arc is simply outstanding with some comedic relief. Maybe it would have been better if it was longer, and nobody is going to mind if Ufotable includes anime original content. But still, this manga arc delivers in each of its chapters. The 1-hour episode was just a preview, and it's understandable why some fans are disappointed. But keep in mind that this was mostly just the final episode of the previous season. There was content from the Hashira Training Arc, but only the opening chapters. Overall, it is more likely for this arc to have additional content than it is for the Infinity Castle to start right after it. But again, this could be the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 situation. Hidden Inventory arc was 5 episodes long, and then there was a 3-week-long break before the Shibuya Incident arc. So, as I said before, the Hashira Training Arc is scheduled for April, which is the spring season. The 5 episodes will air one by one, and then after the story arc is over, the Infinity Castle arc can finally be announced for July, which will be the summer season. Ufotable and Demon Slayer will easily dominate 2 seasons back-to-back, and even fall because the Infinity Castle arc is the longest arc in the entire story. It also has the most intense fights. I'm talking about 47 chapters and literal back-to-back fights. But this creates another dilemma. What about the Sunrise Countdown arc? Thing is, Infinity Castle and Sunrise Countdown both go hand in hand. So it'd be a little awkward if we get the Infinity Castle arc soon after the Hashira Training arc, but then have to wait another year for Sunrise Countdown. It just killed the tension and momentum. But again, a 5-episode long season would be awkward too. So it's like, choose your awkwardness. The Hashira Training Arc would be 5 episodes. Then Infinity Castle is 47 chapters long, so it could be around 20 episodes, while the Sunrise Countdown Arc is 22 chapters including the epilogue, so that's another 10 episodes. That's what I think. We definitely aren't going to get all these episodes in the same year, so when will we have to wait till?